Hey guys, it's a scorching 30 degrees Celsius. Yeah, Celsius. Look it up, Google it. It's a 30 degrees Celsius out there, so you guys know what that means. Yeah, me neither. But we're going to do another episode of Retro Jams, in which I put a spotlight on an old movie that I find to be underappreciated.
What's underappreciated?
Under the what?
Or that I want to talk about. And today we're taking a look at The Naked Gun. I can already sense that some people are rolling their eyes. But hear me out. The full title of that movie is The Naked Gun, from the Files of Police Squad. I used to love those movies as a kid, especially the first one. It was just what every single teenage boy needed at that time. A string of stupid jokes, a bunch of people toppling over, and a pretty lady. It was a confusing time. But let's have a look and find out why this is a retro jam. The story of the Naked Gun movie started 8 years before the release of the actual movie. In an era where Mel Brooks had managed to make parody movies a commercially viable genre, and audiences were getting bombarded with all kinds of disaster movies, three young TV makers, the Zucker brothers and their friend Abrams, got the idea to make a comedy version of 0 Hour, a 1957 action thriller about a flight going dramatic when all the pilots pass out after eating fish. The only one that can save the plane is a veteran fighter pilot with a crippling case of PTSD. Now, Airplane is almost a frame-by-frame parody remake of 0 Hour. They even went as far as buying the rights to 0 Hour just to be on the safe side. While the plot is almost identical, the execution is very, very different. Airplane was a huge success, and a big part of that was the excellent casting. They managed to get some serious actors with a lot of drama experience, and they put them in these weird circumstances which created this tension that turned out to be hilarious. Very refreshing at the time. One of those actors was Leslie Nielsen. He played the doctor on the plane, one of the side roles. Nielsen had only done serious parts up till then. He was known as one of those actors that popped up in every series for 1 or 2 episodes, and he usually ended up playing the bad guy. I remember seeing him in a few episodes of the old Love Boat series, and in the Poseidon Adventure, a 1972 disaster movie that they played a lot on TV when I was a kid. The weird thing was that while Nielsen had the look of a more dramatic actor, he also had great comedic timing. His "Don't Call Me Shirley" line is still being quoted today. Well, mainly by me, but still.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
The Zuckers and Abrams noticed Nielsen's talent. However, they did not include him in the second Airplane movie, but rather built something different around him. Something close to home for the creators. A TV series. Police Squad features Leslie Nielsen as Lieutenant Frank Drabin, a clumsy, goofy cop that left a trail of confusion and disaster wherever he came by. It was a parody on all of the police series that were on TV at that point, and even today. While this series is over 40 years old, people are still posting clips on social media about it today, because it simply is a timeless type of humor. Goofy, simple, juvenile. Exactly what we need, especially today. The series did pretty good, but it was still cancelled after just 6 episodes.
Oh, great Scott!
But that did not stop the team behind the series. They decided to make the leap to the big screen with The Naked Gun, or The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. The reason why they couldn't call it Police Squad was because of Police Academy. Those movies were popping off, and it would have been very confusing for the audience. But in the end, the setup is the same thing. Frank Drabin making a mess. They casted some interesting actors for some of the other roles, like George Kennedy, another more dramatic actor known from The Dirty Dozen. He got to play Frank Drabin's captain. He was basically the one to set up all of the jokes for Drabin.
He's alive, Frank, though he's on life support. Doctors say he's got a 50-50 chance of living, though there's only a 10% chance of that.
There was Priscilla Presley, the ex-wife of Elvis Presley, and at that point, a quite undiscovered comedic talent.
I want you to know it. Practice safe sex.
So do I.
And she had a beautiful chemistry with Leslie Nielsen. There was O.J. Simpson, which later proved to be a bit of a controversial pick, but at that time, he was just a funny man. The story behind The Naked Gun was again taking a lot of inspiration from other movies, especially Dirty Harry in this case. The plot was simple. Queen Victoria is visiting Los Angeles, and Drabin and the rest of Police Squad are put in charge of the security. Detective Norberg, who is being played by O.J. Simpson, gets shot while investigating a heroin smuggle operation. And Drabin finds out that there's a link between this attempt on his friend's life and the arrival of the Queen, oddly enough. At the center of it is a businessman, Vincent Ludwig, who happens to have a very appealing assistant, which is Priscilla Presley. And I mean, I'm not giving you a setup, that's about all of the story. But it's just meant as a bit of glue to bind all of the visual and prop gags that are in this movie. And you know what? It worked. Very well even. So much so that this 12 million movie grossed $150 million worldwide. The second movie, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, even did $192 million. But while the first one has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, even still at this point, the second one dropped off at 65. And the third movie, The Naked Gun 33 and a Third, The Final Insult, even never made it past 53%. It did, however, inspire a lot of other filmmakers, like the Hot Shot series with Charlie Sheen, or the Scary Movie series by the Wayans brothers. But in my opinion, none of those ever matched the success of Police Squad and the first Naked Gun movie. And the main reason for that is Leslie Nielsen. This dramatic actor that has been doing all of these B-rolls turns out to have impeccable comedic timing. And thanks to the genius writing, he is allowed to make his serious and almost stoic look into the best gag of that whole movie. And that is why that movie is timeless. That is why it is a retro gem. And that is also why Hollywood is currently working on a reboot. Reboots always worry me, especially in cases like this where the casting is pivotal to the success of the movie. But then I learned that Liam Neeson is going to play the role of Frank Drabin. That's right, the man with a particular set of skills.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
But that actually intrigues me. I mean, he might not be as much of a B-roll actor like Leslie Nielsen was, but he definitely has a dramatic touch. And I've seen him in all type of sketches. This might actually work. We'll see. The funny thing is, well, not half funny, but still, it is set to release on my next birthday, which is July 18, 2025. Yeah, that's still a long way ahead. Luckily. I hate birthdays. But I guess I know what I'm doing that day. For now, however, that was it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. And if you have a few minutes left, maybe check out this video. Click it. But above all, make sure to subscribe because I'm going to be back with a new video next week. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye-bye.